Hey guys, it's Nat. So, I really appreciate all the comments that everyone has been supporting me on. I will finally have this retainer out, which is super difficult to talk. Now I see why my neighbor who has Invisalign can't speak right. She slurs her words all the time. And it's because she has bottom and top. And I can see it now. But it's super hard because it's just like you have something in your mouth and the spit gets in there and then like you're like, you know. But I talked to my doctor yesterday and I love my dentist. He's so cool. Cuz when he called, cuz we joke, like we have a joking like relationship, and I knew it was his number. I said, "Oh, it's Big Daddy." And he started laughing because he served in the military. All three kids of his served in the military. His daughter's a dentist in the military, and the other two, I don't know, they're still active. But he served for like 25 years. And then he told me that the whole reason why he even went into the military was because he wasn't making enough as a dentist back in the day. He was making more in the military, and the military paid for him to be a dentist. And that when he went to private practice out of the military, he wasn't making any money. So he went back into the military and made more money. But now he's making a lot of money. So he's super cool. Love him to death. So he's going to give me a discount on my implant. Thank God. He always gives me discounts. Because when I lost my mouth guard, I'm like, I'm not paying, sorry, I'm not paying $700 again for my mouth guard. It's under my bed. I have to get a broom and sweep it up. And I'm not, hadn't done it. I was just truthful with him, right? And so when I went back in, he's like, "Did you get your mouth guard?" I said, "No, because I'm lazy and I don't want to get a broom and have to sweep the mouth guard from underneath my bed." He goes, "Oh my God, Natalie, I'll just give you another mouth guard for a quarter of the price." I'm like, "No, I'm determined. I'm going to get my mouth guard with the damn broom." Excuse my language. So got it. Anyway, so we had a good conversation. He's going to put me, because I said Valium is not going to work. I have a fear of dentists, okay? Because when I had to get these 4 caps, not only did I have to get the caps, but I also had to get 4 root canals. And I spent about 9 hours in that dentist's office. And then I had to go back, and they had to yank the ones that weren't permanent out to put the permanent ones in, and it just absolutely terrified me. And then when I was 12 and I didn't even have cavities, okay, a doctor said I had cavities. This was a welfare doctor. So he starts doing the cavity. Well, the filling falls down my throat, and he puts the suction thing down my throat, and it's like gagging me, and he's trying to suck the metal out of my throat so I don't choke. That scarred me. So my dentist knows all of this. So he called me on his day off because they're not open on Friday. He's like, "Natalie, I've never received a phone call from you, and I know you're supposed to be here 2 weeks ago, and I know why you're not here, and I also know why you didn't come in the other day, about 2 months ago. He saw a yellow spot where the tooth broke anyway, so it doesn't matter. And he wanted to fix the yellow spot because he's like, you beautiful." He jokes a lot because he has a really beautiful daughter too. He's like, "You beautiful women always want your teeth so perfect." And he's just an awesome person. And it's not flirting. And he knows that my dad died when I was 23. And he knows when I'm like, "Oh, it's Daddy," he knows it's not sexual. It's he knows that I look at him as a dad because of what he's done for me. He's done a lot of work on me and made me feel very comfortable, and he makes jokes, and he's like, "I really respect you, Natalie, because I've only had one other patient say that they look at me as a dad, and that just breaks my heart for you that you don't have your dad anymore. And so it's that type of connection where he is someone I look up to. He even offered me a job in his facility, because up here in Wisconsin, you don't have to go to school to be an assistant dentist person. You just train on the job, which that's how it should be. He's like, do you want to work here? Do you not like school? Like where I was working. And I'm like, I like it, but yeah, I would like to work with you. It'd be awesome. Like, because we had such, like, he was like my father, okay? And I haven't had a father in a long time. So I really appreciated him calling me on his day off. And we joked and laughed. And I said, I love you so much. You know how much I love you. He's like, girl, I love you too. We're going to get you hooked up and everything's going to go good. Don't freak out. I know you're supposed to be here 2 weeks ago. You canceled the appointment. I know why. He's like, I understand. Valium's not going to work for you. I'm going to have to put you under sedation. I said, please do. And if you need to leave me there for 2 hours to sleep it off, I said, that's fine. I said, I'll get an Uber or my husband will be home, whatever. So that happened yesterday. Kind of put me in a good mood. But anyway, things have been going really good. My husband is flying out next week to St. Louis, Missouri for an increased pay job, because the job they promised my husband, which was a PM, and he would be home every day, the owner gave it to his son, who has not been in the field. And they don't want to lose Jared in the field because they fired 5 employees on this Nestle Purina, which is the biggest construction job in America right now. And they're dicking him around. Well, now he got notification by the boss saying, we're bringing you in a week. And that's because he's on LinkedIn and they know, and even his main boss that we have a really good relationship with, actually. We go to the family barbecues. They come over, all this. They took care of our home when we lived here for 3 months and all this. Said, I saw that you're on LinkedIn. I don't blame you, because what the owner did to you is unacceptable. So, I'm on video.
Clay's gonna hate it.
Oh, well, I don't care.
We went to a gym.
I don't care. Oh, yeah, we're helping him doing what we're doing, so he's not going to hate us. I'm not worried about it. Anyway, so we might be moving. They've interviewed him 3 times over the computer. Now they're flying him out next week. I hate Wisconsin. I hate the district, the school district. My son's been being bullied. And they're also trying, which I voted against, and I had all my neighbors. I texted everyone saying, your mortgage is going up $500 this year. Last year it was $100. But the superintendent wanted $7 million extra. Extra. Because they can't hire people. So they have to pay them more. Nobody wants to work at the school. So they have to hire more people because they don't have enough teachers. Dude, there's empty classrooms in my middle school. They can't hire enough people or pay them enough to deal with public school children. Okay? So he asked for that. Well, guess what? Got denied. So I had all my neighbors. I gave them a list of who to vote for. Because everyone in the neighborhood knew that our mortgages were going to go up $500. Because we put such a big down payment on this house, our mortgage is only $2,300 a month, which gets you into a really nice apartment and you're not in the ghetto. So we live in a nice area with a river and all this stuff for what we would pay for an apartment. Well, $500 extra would be $2,700 a month for this house. They're trying to raise the property taxes and the insurance on homes for the school district. Okay? And they have bigger problems than the school district. Trust me. They had a meth problem here, all kinds of stuff. The new sheriff wiped it out. There was even a serial killer here. As a matter of fact, just about 6 months ago, someone just got murdered, right? Because there's a lot of schools. If you know Watertown, then you know that this district has the most schools that I've ever seen in my life. So they have a preparatory school here where the kids live, the high school kids live here, and the guy got murdered right on the corner of the preparatory school. And there's been all kinds of violence. Thank God we don't have gangs here, but there's been violence. So if they raise our mortgage $500 and I don't have a job, which I will if we don't get this new job, we can't send our son to private school. That's a problem. He's not going there. I don't care if I have to clean houses. I don't care if I have to start my own daycare. I don't care if I have to start my own special needs programs again. I don't care if I have to go back to being a mortician. I don't care if I have to go back into law enforcement bullshit. I will do what I have to do. I have the degrees. I have the resources to do so. Not putting this public school on my resume. My resume speaks for itself. I was an assistant construction manager for almost 7 years, dealing with hundreds of millions of dollars in projects that feed you guys and huge warehouses. So at this point, I'm hoping my husband gets this job, and I really you know how you have that feeling oh my God, your life's about to change? I think so. As much as I love this home, it's the biggest place I've ever lived. I'm not going to lie. It's wonderful. I was so blessed. But we also spent 10 years living in apartments free, saving money. So we were able to afford this home. And that's why our mortgage is so low. But the HR at this school district needs to retire. She's almost 80. And she was at CUNT to me. After everything I've done and all the money I spent for those kids. And I don't want to keep going on about this. This is 13 minutes. But I'm giving you an update on my life. So we might be moving. Not sure. As much as, oh my God, I love my home. The horticulturist, or horticulturist, since some of y'all like to correct my southern accent, made such a beautiful garden in my back. I only get to experience it 5 months out of the year. I'm not used to that as a Southern Belle. I'm used to being in shorts every single day of my life. Instead, I have to wear jackets in the house. So our electricity bill is almost $500 a month. I don't want a 2-story anymore. If we have a 2-story, I want my bedroom downstairs. So I'm not climbing stairs and breaking my nose or breaking my foot because of socks that I'm wearing. It's retarded. Excuse my language. After what I experienced with this school district and having Miss B-Word, yeah, B-Word, that's your last name, right? Stalk me on social media. She doesn't even live in my town. She's a miserable human being who likes to tattletale because she's one of those special people. You know, like those tattletales when you're like growing up in schools and they always told the teacher on everyone that did something that really wasn't a big deal? Yeah, she's that one. And I noticed that a lot of those teachers were like that. That's why they became teachers, because they were the tattletales of the students when they were growing up in school. So, anyway, that's my rant. I will try to make a video about mother-in-law abuse. I am opening my sessions back up. I know I told probably about 17 to 20 people that I can't do sessions right now because I was healing. Sorry, I was eating lunch. But I'm getting better. My foot's looking better. I'm able to clean more. My kitchen actually looks decent. And my living room looks great. I don't, like, when my husband's here, I'm able to sleep in bed. Thank God. But, like, if I'm alone and I have to get up super early to do my kids' stuff and the dogs and all that, I need to sleep downstairs just because it's easier for me to process everything. And I don't want to fall down the stairs half asleep. But, like, if I'm able to lay in bed with my husband who can get up and get Bryce ready and all that, then it gives me a little bit more encouragement to, like, wake up fully and have my coffee and stuff. So, although this company just said, okay, Jared, we're bringing you in a week to be an estimator for hundreds of millions of dollars of projects, that is not what they promised him 10 years ago. They gave his position away to the owner's son. The position that has been promised for 4 months, all of a sudden the son got word. Took it. So, regardless, if we take the estimate job, or I really, like, there's something in me. I've been looking at homes in St. Louis, guys. Why would I do that? And I keep telling my husband, I'm like, I'm telling you, we are about to move, and they're going to provide helping us sell the home, 6 months in an apartment if we can't find a home in time, but we have a lot of equity in this home. And then my next door neighbor, which is like one of like my very good friends, her husband is like one of the biggest real estate agents in Wisconsin. He could sell it within a week, and we make $100,000 off of it. So I'm not worried about that. However, I think when you have your first home, you fall in love with it. But the winters here are so harsh because we're only 5 hours from Canada. They're so harsh. I already slipped and fell. I had to go back into pain management over it. I've slipped on the stairs twice. The first time was the first 5 months that I lived here and broke my nose. Thank God it broke perfect. And nothing had, like, I didn't have to have surgery or plastic surgery. But then my second fall, like 3.5 years later, I'm like, I need a bedroom on the first floor. Like, I can't do the stairs. My immune system, I'm anemic. All this is failing. I'm trying to get back better. Like, things are going to go better. But right now, something's going on. Not sure. And I'm also going probably through menopause. I'm almost 40. I'll be 40 in May. So I just think, like, my bone density isn't correct. So I'm going to have a bone density test soon and see what's going on. Maybe they need to up my levothyroxine because they only have me on 100. I personally think I need to be on 200 milligrams a day, but they only have me on 100. So my eyelashes, if you look, on the left side, I have none. On the right side, they're fine. They're constantly falling out on the left side. Okay? Anyway. Sorry, I'm talking about this. I know you guys want Well, the thing is, a lot of you guys do want to know what's going on with me. More than half of you. But then the other half complains like, oh, this didn't get me anywhere. Well, I'm sorry. Like, I've made friends with people over 10 years of being on YouTube that have been following me for like 7 years. Like, just like to know what's going on with me. And so that's really the message today. I'm just letting you know, like, things might be changing. I might be moving. Yeah. And I'm feeling better. I deleted that one video because I did take a pain medicine. Which I think I did say in that video, like, I took a pain medicine, so I might slur my speech because they're strong. For my little body, 107 pounds, like, one of those pain medicines is super strong. And then I had Miss B Word come on and, like, delete my name out of your video. Well, you're a stalker. And I should say whatever I want to about you because you got me forcefully, like, you forced me to resign because you're a tattletale little B word. And shame on you, and you will have to answer to God for what you've done. Because let me tell you something, honey. God put me on this earth to help people. You're not on the earth to help people. You're here to make a paycheck. You're just jealous that I wasn't there for a paycheck. That I'm already retired. I was only at that school to help and mentor children. I gotta stop. All right. Peace, love, harmony, guys. I am angry because she kept tattletelling because she's a little tattletale. Whenever I literally went to her and said, look, if you have a problem with anything I do, because I was just like so perfect when her other paras failed her so miserably and she knew it. She knew her paras, besides one, an older woman, was actually responsible. But her other para, piece of crap para. I liked her as a person, shitty attitude, but never wanted to do anything for children. So she'll answer to God for why she did what she did to a good person. Peace, love, and harmony. Bye, guys.